Hello and welcome to Retrospectives. The next painting in the tour is the painting Clickbait. Painted in 2018, it's acrylic on canvas and it's 100 centimeters by 100 centimeters. I completed this triptych while participating in an artist-in-residence program in Sevilla, Spain. The triptych has been shown in an exhibition in Sevilla, Spain, and also in an exhibition in Paris, France. The triptych, The Power of the Click, looks at the treatment of online bodies through the scope of the click. It asks the question if the treatment of online bodies can also influence the treatment of real-world bodies. The concept of clickbait is creating content in order to entice or compel a user to complete an action online. I wanted to explore the use of women's bodies and women's image in order to compel a user to click on a button or to fulfill an action. This piece looks at the idea of likes and followers as a new currency, as a means of power. This enabled me to look at the different actions or behaviors that we display in order to get likes and follows. What type of content generates more likes for men? What type of content generates more likes for women? And are we using bodies to entice users? And whose bodies are we using? And this brings me to the first common trait in the triptych, The Power of the Click. The first common trait is this frame here, composed of bodies. This frame expresses the archaic way that we continue to define power and roles even within the digital world. We base our roles on gender, race, sex, age. We are confined by these ideas of the body. You'll also find these icons, whom I call drones, and they represent the digital masses. The grayscale in these paintings represent the transient nature of the online world. And last, I depict the click using this image here. The click for me is a touch, an action committed, one that we do not understand the implications of. Are we creating a digital world which permits us to touch bodies, to use bodies as a means to an end? The composition of this painting was inspired by a classic clickbait scenario. These two women kissed for the first time. See what happens next. You'll find body 1 here and body 2 here. Body 1's arms hold the head of the other, and body 2's arms mirrors that and also holds the head. Body 1's leg is here and body 2's leg is here, crossed over the other's leg. The rows of digital masses watch, creating a stage for the subjects. I wanted to play with the gaze, as the other two paintings in the triptych were taken from the position of looking on to a woman. I wanted to put the viewer into the point of view of the woman who is being watched. And that's why this painting can also be seen as one body instead of two. The viewer of the painting becomes the head looking down her body, as if it were her own. As a viewer, imagine that your head is where the click is. These are the breasts. And then you look down towards your legs. It is the point of view of one woman. Therefore, the two legs cross over one another, of one body. This is the first time that I play with the idea of the female gaze within painting. With the idea of the female gaze, I ask the question, what would life look like through the eyes of a woman? How can I create this experience for the viewer through painting? And in Clickbait, the viewer becomes her. The viewer experiences her point of view just for a moment. The viewer begins to experience what it feels like to be on display, to be under the watchful eye, the influence, the pressure of the digital masses. Right now we're in the midst of creating the new digital world. It is a dematerialized world which transcends the body, yet we are still using the same systems to determine roles and power, dependent on bodies. We let the images of certain bodies be indicators of respect, indicators of whom we should listen to and whom should be silent even in the digital world. In front of us, we have the chance to create a better world, a plural world, a world not just made for one type of person, but for many. Because there are life and death consequences in a world designed by men. If you'd like to read a little bit more about this, I highly recommend the book Invisible Women, Exposing Data Bias in a World Designed for Men by Caroline Criado Perez. I believe that we have the opportunity to do something different with the digital world. we have the opportunity to support and represent an array of different voices and point of views. Diversity promotes evolution. Thank you for taking the time to discover the painting Clickbait by me, Lala Drona. Until next time, peace, love, and art.